Hello. Hi. It's Brandon Walker. Liam Blutman here in Chicago. Unnecessary Roughness brought to you by Twisted Tea. I've got Lukey prepared me an ice cold peachy variety right here, and I have no fingernails. I'll work on that in a minute. Anyway, this is, I do need to get it open. I'll take this little pencil right here. I bet we'll get in there. Yeah, we'll get in there. We got it. Okay. We've got the delicious peach Twisted Tea right here. They are our presenting sponsor, and I am so happy because of it. They are fantastic. It's like somebody just said, Brandon Walker needs a drink with a nice little kick to it, and they gave me this. Thank you very much for sponsoring Unnecessary Roughness. Now look over there in TV land. I don't see Kayce Smith. She won't be with us this week. It'll just be me and the boys. That means Big Ev is here. Big Ev, nothing better than a Twisted Tea on a. Is the weather doing to you what it's doing to me? Because it's time to get outside.
Oh no, it's been that time. The weather's turned. I mean, it's Twisted Tea season. It's like you said, it's the perfect. It's delicious. It's refreshing. Just a little kick to it. Makes you feel good. A little tingle inside you.
Yeah, it's a little feel good on a Wednesday afternoon when we're recording, right, yeah. Liam Blutman?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, damn right. Thank you, Twisted Tea. All right, so Kayce's not here, so we're going to talk about guy things. We're going to talk about football and babes and boobs.
Yeah.
And brisket.
Yeah.
And, I thought you were going to say
breasts.
And mud riding and
probably going to fix a car.
Shooting guns.
Heck, you want to fight? You want to throw down?
You want to fight?
Yeah, you want to throw down?
Fight, huh?
Yeah.
I would pop each other in the face a little bit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll bring a knife.
Man things.
Yeah.
Mostly just college football, though.
Okay, that's fair.
Mostly just college football,
I
is...
prefer that. I don't want to fight you.
No, that would have been a bad idea for you, for being honest.
Bad idea for you.
Well, then don't back down.
I ain't backing down for nothing. I don't want to have to squish them.
Blutman, I'll smoke you.
You try.
I'll smoke you right here.
I mean, again, you would try.
I ain't no easy win. Don't let these titties fool you. I ain't no easy win.
I ain't no easy loss.
What?
Yeah. I'm in your head, little bro.
Boom.
I'm in your head.
Can't little bro me.
I'm playing the mind games. You don't even know how to go.
Speaking of mind games, great segue. Way to go. I feel like the SEC and the Big Ten are tired of playing pussyfoot with the other conferences in this country. They're tired of hiding behind the reality. They're tired of having to just say, just be kind of nice to teams. Not like the SEC's ever nice. Not like the Big Ten's really ever nice. But certainly there's a professional courtesy where the SEC and the Big Ten have allowed. Well, let's just be honest. How many ACC teams were in the playoff last year? 2. How many belonged? 0. But anyway, now that we're a year into the playoff era, or the expanded playoff era, we have the 12-team playoff. It is now being reported that it looks like the SEC and the Big Ten are among those pushing for a 16-team playoff, which would include 4 set spots, half the field, for SEC teams and Big Ten teams. And there will be people in this country that are like, oh, that boo progress, boo that. That's terrible. Why let these 2 teams think they run the sport? And I'll tell you why. Because these conferences run the sport, and they just do. And if we're being honest with each other on a year-in, year-out basis, if you take the top 16 teams, at least the top 8 are going to consist of Big Ten and SEC every single year. That is reality. And right now, the Big Ten and the SEC are trying to flex reality on the rest of everybody else. Big Ev, two-tiered question. A, do you think we're headed towards this? And B, do you think we should be headed towards this?
Yes, I think we are headed towards. I think the 16 team was always going to be a thing, no matter how this first 12 team played out in terms of teams and conferences. A lot of talk about obviously the first round buys and all that. It was always going to happen, and 2 should have happened. Absolutely. If you saw the way things played out, that's how they should. I mean, like you said, the SEC and Big Ten, they just dominate. The 4 best teams of the Big Ten, the 4 best teams of the SEC. I mean, there's a good chance all 4 of them in given years can beat the best team in the ACC, best team in the Big 12. I think they probably would have this year, to be honest. I know it's year to year, but do you think do you think Indiana beats? I guess you could argue maybe Arizona State beats Indiana, but I think you see the gap is that big in terms of the depth of conferences. So I think it has to happen. I think this is the only way that the Big Ten and SEC can rationalize doing this. Like last year was cute; it was the first one. It was the guinea pig. But seeing the way it played out, they have to have more representation. They deserve it.
Well, also when you consider the size of the conferences now, like the SEC is currently 16, the Big Ten's 18, I believe. Is that correct? That's 34 teams. I think they're, as of right now, in the Power Four, they're 60, 65, 66, something like that. I don't know the exact number, but I mean, kind of half the teams in this country are in the SEC or the Big Ten right now, or half the legitimately title threats are. And now I know when you talk about conference superiority, a lot of people like to either hide behind it or not talk about it or not acknowledge reality. They want to say, play it. The Big 12 can be just as good as the SEC, and it's just never true. The ACC is never as good as the Big Ten. It's just what it is, although I'm going to kind of step on that point a little bit later when we talk about our teams for the season. Blutman, what do you make of all this mumbo jumbo?
So the number is 68 Power 4 teams, which makes up directly 50% of college football right now.
Half of Power 4 college football is in the Big Ten and the SEC.
Yeah.
They're asking for half the spots in the playoff.
Yeah. I don't. So I still believe the number should just be an 8-team playoff. I'm just too big a believer in we play the regular season games for a reason. You win them, you lose them. There needs to be consequences for losing. Like, we can't just throw out all these invites. Whatever. I know I'm not going to get that. I'm not going to fight and lose this fight for. I'm not going to waste energy on it. I've already surrounded Bethany, whatever.
Yeah.
What I don't like is predetermined bids. If there's 4 Big Ten teams that deserve to be in, great. If there's 6, great. Let's get 6 in. If there's 2, there weren't 2 teams from the ACC that deserved to be in last year. So every single year we're getting 2 teams in from the ACC, even if, hey, maybe they had 4 teams worthy. Maybe they had 0. I don't like the predetermined. I don't mess with that.
I agree with that. I mean, and let's take it a little further. Let's say there's a year where there are, again, 6 legitimate Big Ten teams that should be in the top 16. Are you excluding 2 so you can make everybody feel welcome? And frankly, there will be years where there's 3 SEC teams that deserve to do it. Like this year, I think was that year. I think that the SEC teams that deserve to be in the playoff were in the playoff, and the ones that were outside looking in. I'm fine with them being on the outside looking in. But here's the thing. Money.
Yeah, money talks.
Money talks. If they had started with 8, I think 8 would be a great place to finish. But they started with 12. And 12 just doesn't make that much sense. If you're going to have 12, have 16.
Yeah.
Just if you're going to have 12, have 16. And they're never going to say, we made it too big, we're taking games away.
Mm-hmm.
So once they made it 12, the next step was 16. This is probably the last step for a long, long time.
Better hope.
I can't imagine anything bigger than 16. That now I'm getting into a problem area. But as far as the SEC and the Big Ten using their might, they make the most money. They have the most clout. They are trying to use it. On a year in, year out basis, will it be the best way to determine a champion? I don't know that, but I know that the reality of the situation is the shot callers are being shot callers right now, and that's what's happening, Big F.
They're running the game. They're on the show. I had another thing too, Brandon.
Yeah, please.
Ross Dellinger was talking about Big Ten SEC could have playing games. Wait,
that's where you kind of lose me a little bit.
How many? That's ridiculous.
Yeah, so we're talking about the first 2. You take the 6 teams, the top 6 teams in the SEC, for example. 1 and 2 are just in. They got playoff spots. 3 would play 6, 4 would play 5.
Yeah.
And the winners of those 2 games would get the last 2 playoff spots from that conference.
Yeah.
Now,
but then those teams are going to be at larges that lost.
I think you're also. I mean, I feel like that's kind of muddying the water. That's stretching things out a little further than they need to be stretched out. I honestly, now if we did have a weekend in early December where you had 2 Big Ten play-in games and 2 SEC play-in games, that's also fucking electric, right? I don't like the idea.
Yes and no, because if the teams that lose are getting in anyway as at large, what was the point of that? It's just seeding. It's just semantics. There was really no point. But we're doing
a spot.
We're doing playing games, and both teams are getting in.
If they were playing for a spot, that would be say we got to fucking December 1st, and I don't know, this year Iowa and Nebraska happen to be great. Iowa plays Nebraska. Number 4 seed Iowa plays number 5 seed Nebraska, and one of them's getting in, one of them's not getting in.
I don't foresee a situation where that happens because there's 3 at-large.
I'm also doing devil's advocate because I don't love the idea either.
Yeah, I think I just think it's a bad idea. I would love the thought. I think it's a great thought of a early December playing weekend, do or die.
Yeah.
That's gonna be great for rings and everything. That's what they want. But I can't wrap my brain around that when I know the loser's still getting in.
Big Ev, I guess my stance is
makes sense.
I don't like the idea, but it would be electric. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, it would be incredible. I think now you're just getting into too many games, especially with 16 teams, which I'm good with 16. I agree with you. You already got the 12. You got to go to 16. And the buys also were weird. And the buys didn't help anybody. And that's only 1 year. You don't know how that's going to go going forward. But I like the idea of the entire playoff field just playing the same amount of games no matter what. I can get behind that. So I can get behind 16 because also I don't think the gap between, like, last year, for example, like the 10, 11, 12, I think they're pretty much the same caliber as like 13, 14, 15, 16, pretty much. I think like the Ole Misses and them, like they were like South Carolina's, they were in the same. They may argue they were better by the end of the year, but I think in terms of caliber of season they had, they were right there. So I like 16. Like you're already 12. I have no issues with 16, but I agree with you. It'd be electric, but I think it would be just too many games. Like I think it just the amount of games, and it just muddies the conference waters. Is Dellinger saying this just because of there's going to be so many like ties from like 3 to like 6 kind of thing in the Big Ten and SEC?
Dellinger's just saying whatever somebody's telling Dellinger. That's usually what Ross does. But I mean he's good at it. That's not disputing him at all. But that's just somebody talking from inside the system saying this could be a distinct possibility going down the road. It's definitely a thought worth exploring and talking about. But ultimately, I mean, you can figure out 16. I just feel it's going to 16 eventually. I don't think you have to split the atom here and reinvent the wheel. You can get there a lot easier than they're acting like they can get there.
They're doing tricks on it.
With prices going up on just about everything lately, being smart with your money isn't just a good idea. It is essential. I'm talking about Rocket Money. Managing subscriptions, tracking spending, and cutting costs can feel overwhelming. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. You can easily create a personalized budget with custom categories to help keep your spending on track. See your monthly spending trends in each category to know exactly where your money is going. Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when they use all of the app's premium features. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions, reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Download the Rocket Money app and enter our show name Unnecessary Roughness in the survey so they know we sent you. Don't wait. Download the Rocket Money app today and tell them you heard about them from our show. Again, download the Rocket Money app and enter Unnecessary Roughness in the survey. What was number? Yeah, I know what number 2 was. So yesterday, Pablo Torre, who apparently has the best Bill Belichick connections in the world all of a sudden, basically came out and said there's a good chance Bill Belichick never coaches one game at North Carolina, and June 1st is a big date to watch as it regards to that. Now, I haven't dove into the particulars of the latest Belichick drama or anything like that, but I'm going to ask you right now, 1% to 100%. Do you think the answer is 100% that Bill Belichick coaches a North Carolina football game this year? Do you think it's 100?
I think it's like 90. Like I think it's pretty strong. Maybe I'm naive. I think especially him doing this kind of second wave of like damage control. Him doing I think what he did an interview for like ACC Network or something like that, ESPN. So I feel like that was the damage control where he's like, oh, personal relationship, she has nothing to do with football, blah, blah, blah. He had to kind of take his medicine, like kind of answer to the CBS interview and kind of get that kind of monkey off his back. And yeah, I think it's pretty likely he coaches. I just don't see him burning out that fast. I'd be pretty surprised.
He's going to coach. He's probably going to do well. But the soap opera reality show ending of him never coaching a game is just too delicious to pass up. It's just you have what could be the greatest coach in the history of team sports. Certainly he's in the conversation. He's not number one, but he's in the conversation. If you're talking about it, you bring up his name. You have the greatest coach, one of the greatest coaches in team sports, making his initial move to college football after coaching forever in the NFL and being the most successful at it. He is going down a level to take a team who has always been missing one little piece. Like North Carolina feels like my whole life, North Carolina football is just missing one little thing. We never really have been able to put together what that is. Maybe it's box office appeal, which they have now, but him never reaching the sideline would be hysterical, sad, funny, terrible, juicy, awful. All these are correct, right?
Yeah, these are really good adjectives. Keep emptying the clip.
I'm a good adjective guy.
You are.
I'm very good. I'm great. I'm terrific. I'm fantastic. I'm awesome. I'm top notch.
Wonderful.
The creme de la creme.
I don't know what that is. Or is that French?
Yeah, Ev knows.
Did I tell you guys? No. I bought a Roku streaming bar the other day for my daughter, and it came out of the box in French. So now it's just sitting there.
Oh, oui.
Yeah, and now not right now. I just started drinking, but I just it's just sitting there, $100 Roku streaming bar, and I don't know what to do with it because it's not like I can go to settings. It came out of the box in French.
Yeah,
I can't even set it up to get to the settings.
Get ready to learn French, little bro.
Oh, I mean, Brandon, you have a fluent French speaker in that office. Chef Donnie.
Oh, Chef Donnie. I gotta get Chef Donnie to help me set up my Roku.
I'm dead serious. He went to a school. He went to an elementary school growing up where you learned French fluently. He knows.
My
French
wife speaks French, but I don't talk to her when I'm at home. So
that's a tricky situation.
Yeah, it really is.
I think Jordan's been talking to Bill.
Jordan?
Yeah, Jordan. I think she's been talking to Bill. Little $10 million buyout if Bill ain't there June 1st. That's a lot of money for her and Bill. It's a lot of money.
Yeah, but he wouldn't. North Carolina wouldn't pay him to. He's the one that would walk away, right?
Buyout.
There's no world where North Carolina's
without cause $10 million.
He would have to give them.
What?
There's no world.
That's ridiculous.
There's no world in which North Carolina would want to walk away from this.
People forget. I slept for 20 minutes today. People forget that.
Why?
The stream.
You didn't even play on that stream. Why did you?
I did. It was not good.
I got a little beef with you.
Why?
Well, when I had my hero moment at the end where but did you see this, Big Av, where I had to save everybody?
I did.
I had my hero moment where I walked in, I saved the princess, and everybody dogpiled. You didn't move.
Yeah.
You just sat there.
In true Blutman fashion.
You didn't show.
I never in my life have I wanted to be involved in a dog pile.
You don't have to dogpile. You could clap.
I don't think I said a word.
You could be. You didn't say a word. That's the problem.
Yeah, I left. Congrats.
I don't want it now.
I mean, that's fair. I'll give it to myself then. But yeah, you did good. I'm happy for you, and it helped me leave. That was big. It helped everyone else.
You weren't. You could have left at any point.
No, that ain't in DNA.
That's not you.
No, they did always say, hey, like Mincy, you could go now.
Yeah.
It was never, hey, Blutman, you could go now.
Yeah.
I was glue.
Nutrafol is the #1 selling hair growth supplement brand with over 1.5 million people seeing thicker, fuller, faster growing hair with less shedding. Nutrafol's hair growth supplements are physician formulated using 100% drug-free ingredients. Nutrafol hair growth supplements are clinically proven to improve hair growth and quality. Get hair growth results you can trust. I know y'all see this beautiful head of hair on me, don't you? Don't you want that? Don't you want to look cute? Huh? Cute as a button. That's what I am. For a limited time, Nutrafol is offering our listeners $10 off your first month subscription and free shipping when you go to Nutrafol.com and enter the promo code UR. Get $10 off your first month subscription and free shipping when you go to Nutrafol.com and enter the promo code UR. Last week, I introduced the idea of bringing your team for 2025, the team that you are big on, the team that you are high on, the team that you believe can be really good this year that you want to stake your claim to. I am throwing a little curveball with mine this week because I'm not ready to lock in on my team, my #1 team, but I have a curveball. I'll go last because mine's a little bit of a cop-out, a little bit of a bitch thing to do. But did Big Ev, did you bring a team to talk about?
I have a team to talk about. I don't know if they're going to be my team. They're a team that I've been high on. They're a team that I actually was high on last year.
Yeah.
And I remember bringing up their quarterback and people didn't love it. I feel like he had a pretty good season. They had a good season.
Blutman, do you have a team?
My team, I did say my team last week.
Yeah.
I still dead set my team. I also have 4 other teams that I'm monitoring.
Why don't we let Blutman lead off with his monitoring list, and then I'll let you go, Big Ev, and then I'll follow at the end. Blutman, tell me who, as we're looking at the 2025 landscape of college football, tell me the teams you are monitoring.
So I do hate to say this one because the head coach is an absolute buffoon and loser. It is Auburn. It is Auburn because I do see a where I put the number of like least amount win, or like a target win total. I think Auburn could go out there and win 8 games and just be a really fun, exciting team that wins a game or two that you're just not expecting them to. Cam Coleman's going to be a superstar. He's not been talked about near as much because Jeremiah Smith and Ryan Wingo and Ryan Williams, all those other superstar, now true sophomore receivers. Cam Coleman's absolute dog. I think Auburn's going to be tough on defense. Also, Singleton in there in the receiver room as well with Arnold. They're just going to be fun. So I'm excited for Auburn. Second one.
Let me interject right there.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So when he was at Ole Miss, Hugh Freeze had fun teams that scored a lot of points and did a lot of things. That's been the biggest shock of him at Auburn to me. He has put ugly, stupid, boring teams on the field ever since he's got. Like, Auburn's just been hard to watch ever since he got there. He hasn't gotten quarterback right yet. He tried to run it back last year with a bad transfer. Thorne, right?
Yeah.
Peyton Thorne.
Yeah.
He tried to run it back with a bad transfer. He hasn't gotten quarterback right now. Now he went out and got Jackson Arnold from Oklahoma, who's got all the potential in the world, we think, based on his recruiting stars and some flashes he showed at Oklahoma while playing for a bad football coach. But I'm almost in I'll believe it when I see it with Hugh Freeze and Auburn because everything sounds good on paper. It sounds right. But he hasn't been able – he's been getting the ingredients but hasn't been cooking a nice meal. It's been a really terrible meal. That's the feeling I get about Auburn. On paper, looking at what's coming in, it ought to work. But for some reason, Hugh Freeze – I don't know that Hugh Freeze has the magic he used to have.
Mm-hmm.
At Big Ev, what's your read on them?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I think the quarterback's been the biggest problem. Like last year, you saw they had a good defense. Like they had some things going for them. Like it wasn't like they were a total they were a failure in terms of the way their season went, but they had some bright spots on the roster. It's really Arnold. Arnold's the X factor. If Arnold hits, I think they're going to be very good.
Didn't they get 2?
Yeah, they got Daniels from
Ashton
Stanford,
Daniels.
but
Okay.
he's like a Robbie Ashford type.
I was just there, kind of a change of pace.
I enjoy I wouldn't say he's good. I would say I enjoy watching him. He's chaos in a good way, sort of.
Fair enough.
He's going to get his head blown off in the SEC.
Who's replacing Jarquez Hunter?
Jarquez, they have a few backs in there.
Auburn's one of those teams that I feel like when they're good, it's because they have a fucking stud at running back. And it feels like I can remember more stud Auburn running backs than maybe any other school, save Georgia or Alabama. They just – I feel like when they have a good running back, they're worth talking about. When they don't, they're not. Anyway.
Oh, that Alvin Henderson, true freshman's making some buzz, I've heard.
All right, who's your second team?
I just kind of standard running it back, but different quarterback situation there. Miller Moss is there right now. Louisville, 9-10 wins there. Fun. Chris Bell, breakout receiver. Colin Lacey. They just have Dakari Collins. Like they just have such a same exact Louisville team. Just maybe a little more respect this year. Tougher schedule too. So go out there and win games and actually, they could get a few more statement victories than they could have last year.
I don't know. I kind of like him, and I like Miller Moss as a step up from Shuck, which is funny because Shuck's probably now going to be a
26-year-old developmental NFL quarterback. Pretty cool.
He might. You say developmental. He might be a starting quarterback in the NFL on week 1.
Tough.
That's crazy.
Life's gonna come at him quick.
That is crazy. Who's your third team?
I think one of, if not, it's one of the best quarterback receiver duos in the country. It's Arizona State's Sam Lovett to Jordan Tyson. If they had Jordan Tyson against Texas, I really think they probably win that game, even though it came down to a defensive collapse. But Arizona State, I put for 10-11 wins as well. I think them and Utah are going to be the class of the Big 12 this season. Shout out to the Pac-12, even though they died. But yeah, and look out for Kanye Udo in the backfield. They lose Skadaboo, but Udo comes in, bowling ball type running back with razor blades from Army. I like him a lot.
Yeah, it's hard to it's hard to circle them because they made the playoff last year.
Yeah,
They
it's
came out of
very
nowhere.
difficult to do that.
It's hard. It's hard to say. Watch out for this team when they are very much on the map
Correct.
right now. They're probably preseason top 10. I would
Correct.
assume.
That's just the
They do have an early season trip to Starkville, so maybe we revisit that
maybe
soon.
we revisit that. Maybe it's one loss.
Yeah,
or
maybe
2 losses.
Maybe they're able to recover from that in a couple of. I don't know. I'm just speaking out loud right now. Who's your?
Hypothizing as we must.
Oh yeah, I'm a. Who's your fourth team?
I've been pretty big on this team. It's Washington. Again, another team that I think has a filthy quarterback, running back, receiver duo. Damon Williams, Jonah Coleman, Denzel Boston. Denzel Boston has never gotten the attention that he has deserved. That is a prototype WR1, just alpha dude. Go out there, get it done. 50-50s are 9.55, so he's an absolute menace. I like how their schedule sets up. They're a 10-win team in the Big Ten, I think, which is really good. I like Washington a lot. I think their defense is going to Tacario Davis transferring in from Arizona. This is a guy who is so traitsy, so long, and just could overwhelm a receiver. Jed Fish got so much out of him when he was at Arizona, and Brennan's staff failed to do so last year. So he's coming in. That's going to be a sight to see, I think. I think he could emerge as one of the true, top corners in the country once again.
50-50 balls being 95-5s is a great way to describe our wide receiver.
Thank you.
That's a terrific compliment to any wide receiver. Big Ev, I'll set you up in just a second after I tell you about Cremo's shaving cream. You ever just need to smell good? You want to smell good for the ladies?
Yeah, all the time.
Or everybody? Not just for the ladies, but just walk into a room and have heads turned because, my goodness, that good-looking man over there smells good with his blonde hair and his beard and his hoodie, his blue hoodie.
Or with his red hair and his beard and freckles.
You talking about Connor Griffin?
No.
From mostly Connor Griffin?
He don't really got the freckles.
He got red hair. He's got freckles.
He in the gym.
You don't really have freckles.
Oh, real? Oh, contraire, my friend.
On your arm? I mean on your face.
Freckles.
How do you have freckles on your face?
Probably below the beard.
Probably below the beard. Wow. Speaking of below the beard, you deserve freedom from sweat and stink. Cremo's deodorant is designed to provide men with 48-hour odor protection. 48-hour odor protection. Cremo products are all barber grade, made with pride, professionalism, and passion to guarantee you quality without compromise. Elevate your deodorant experience with Cremo's 2 latest signature scents: Italian Bergamot. Bergamo is bright, fresh, and robust, showcasing notes of bergamot, neroli blossom, and fresh vetiver. Vetiver? They're throwing words at me.
This gotta be in French.
They're throwing words at me. Palo Santo is deep, smoky, and refined, featuring notes of Palo Santo, bright cardamom, and dry papyrus. Wow. You talk about traitsy. They're getting traitsy on this. Head to Target or Target.com to find Cremo's new line of antiperspirants and deodorants and the Italian Bergamot and Palo Santo scents. Once again, that's Target or Target.com. You can find Cremo's new line of antiperspirants and deodorants at Target or Target.com. Big Ev, I know we talked briefly about some teams last week. What are you feeling?
So the team I think I'm going to find myself on, because I've been on them for the last couple of years. I think they're ready to take the next step. I like the way the schedule folds for them this year. Love their coach. Tough, gritty brand of football. Power, physical. Georgia Tech.
Oh,
I think the Yellow Jackets.
Yes, please.
I was on them early. I'm a Haynes King guy. Early Haynes King guy. I know he got banged up last year, but they missed him when he was out. But even the back, I think he's Philo, whatever his name is, was pretty good. I just like Brent Key as a coach too. I think just their brand of football. I think just defense, physical. Want to run the ball with Haynes King some. They obviously played great in that Georgia game doing that. They get Clemson, I think, week 3 or 4 at home. So they get them early, and then they really, I think, a lot of winnable games. I really think the playoff is very, very possible for them.
I don't love the term football guy because, every college football coach is a football guy. But if you're going to use the term football guy, Brent Key is like the picture-perfect definition of it. He is like way up there.
When I think of a football coach that I respect, I think just a little, like just slightly overweight, wears his hat forward, wears like he wears like a short sleeve, like kind of like quarter zip, like windbreaker. Basically, I think of like Bob Huggins version of a football coach. Like that's who I think of generally, and he just fits that bill to a T. He's just the guy you go over his house, you go over like your friend's house. He's the dad. He just commands your respect.
Yeah,
just the way he carries himself, his presence. You know he's like a good guy, like you like him, but he's also like you're just the perfect amount of afraid of him.
Yeah, you go over to his house and he's grilling you burgers, and in the yard his kids are doing Oklahoma drills.
Yes, exactly.
And there's just he's got like lines marked all he's got like a goal line in his backyard to where they're trying to score from 1 yard out all the time.
Like he's got an office that you better not fucking go in.
That's correct. Yes.
You don't go you don't fucking go in there. Like if you try to go in there, his son's like,
we ain't going in there. Not today. I'm
gonna get my ass kicked. You go in there.
So here's my cop out. I'm not ready because I really need to dive in more on the SEC teams. I'm not as SEC ready as I want to be. I'm more ready on other conferences. Ebo said something on Mostly Sports the other day. Ebo's a ball knower. And he said something that I think needs to be brought here for discussion. And I'm going to use this time to bring that here for discussion. And when it comes to, we've talked about the conferences on this show. The Big Ten and the SEC are obviously at the top of the sport every single season. And there are other conferences that sometimes are good, sometimes are bad, sometimes are complete jokes. And sometimes the Big Ten and the SEC can be complete jokes. Fine, whatever. But there are conferences like the ACC who got two teams into the playoff last year and just neither one of them looked like they belong. Clemson played okay. SMU looked like they just didn't belong near Penn State. Anyway, Emo said you need to watch out because this year the ACC as a whole looks like it could be legitimately a good football conference. He believes it could be the second best conference in the land behind either the Big Ten or the SEC. Like maybe it's good enough to pass one of those conferences. Now the Big Ten looks loaded to me. The SEC, I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. I don't know that the SEC is going to be as good this year as it has been. I think Georgia's taking a step back. I think Ole Miss is taking a step back. I think South Carolina is taking a step back. There's a lot of people depending on Florida taking a step forward, and I'm not sure they got the coach to do so. Alabama, I don't think have the right coach. Like there's a lot in the SEC. Oklahoma has to get real good. Texas is the only surefire thing I can see in the SEC. I see a lot of question marks in the Southeastern Conference. But if you begin to look at the ACC, I'm not sure people are prepared for how loaded Clemson is.
No, they're not at all.
No.
Clemson is fucking loaded.
Yeah,
all the losses they've taken over the last couple of years have been because they've been young in certain spots, and they've been getting guys ready. They've been getting guys ready at every level, and Cade Klubnik is now back. He's going to be one of the top 5 quarterbacks in the country. Their receiver room has come a very long way. Their defense is going to be loaded, as it usually is. This team has been built to win this season. They made the playoff last year. They probably didn't deserve to be there, but they made it. I think they're loaded this year. This is the best Clemson team since probably the 2018 national champs.
This is like, I don't think people are fully realizing that this Clemson team is going to run the first round of the NFL draft like an Alabama team would in the mid-2010s. Like, this is truly what Clemson's going to do. And I would say legacy year for Dabo Swinney. If he can't do this with this team this year, that's going to be a stain on his legacy, in my honest opinion. You got to go out. This has to be a Final Four team.
Now, if you look around the league, Georgia Tech looks primed to take a big step forward, like Big Ev said.
Mm-hmm.
Miami is not going anywhere. They were right outside the playoff talk last year. I know Carson Beck is a step down from Cam Ward, but I think elsewhere they have loaded that team with high-quality transfers and recruits over the last few years. They're not going anywhere. They're going to be pretty good. SMU should be, if they were what they pretended to be last year, they're bringing a lot back. They're going to be very good. I think Louisville has a chance to be a really good football team. I'm also missing an obvious one that's right in front of my face. But I think this conference, if you look down the list, everybody is trending up. I don't think of many teams trending down in this league. Syracuse, by the way, is a team that's very interesting. Bringing in another transfer quarterback from Notre Dame, Angeli. Like, this is a team that made noise last year a little bit, beat Miami late in the season. I think they're going to be better. and then you have, and there's a ton of teams in the ACC, but I think the ACC has a chance to be really good. This is not my original thought. I am lifting it from Ebo because I feel like it deserved discussion on this show. Big Ev, thoughts on that thought?
No, I agree with it because I think Plutt made some good points about Louisville. I think Louisville has a chance to be good. I think Georgia Tech has a chance to be good. And I mean, it's crazy the Clemson thing with the draft picks. I mean, there's not a completely far-fetched world that they have 3 of the top 5 picks in the NFL draft. That's possible.
Wow.
They're that talented. I mean, they have, I mean, Woods, Klubnik, Parker. I mean, they have they have serious guys. Like these are like blue chip guys that are now coming into like year 3, year 4. I told you I've flipped on Klubnik completely. I was not a Klubnik guy. I'm now like fully bought in. I think Klubnik's the real deal. But I also agree with Blutman that I think this is legacy's probably strong because he's won his championships. But post NIL, post transfer portal era, this is like if you can't win with all this talent, all this true like blue chip, high level NFL talent, then like something's got to give. I'm not saying fire him, but I'm saying you got to adjust. You got to make some moves.
Well, I mean, fans do want the instant fix this time. At this time in college football, fans want instant fixes. They want transfer guys to come in. They want to fix it immediately. Dabo went the long route with this team. Dabo went the long route of playing young guys and building them up and developing them. And this is why you do it. You're coming in with homegrown guys for the most part, and you're coming in with a team that's loaded and should be the class of that conference, no problem. Should be a playoff team and should be ready to compete for a national title. And I do think the ACC is going to do a better job this year of preparing them for doing that. I think the ACC.
Does Florida State bounce back? I think that's the question mark.
I was about to say now you also have some question marks in the ACC that go up or down. Florida State being probably the number 1, and then Bill Belichick's in the league. But if you talk about box office, if you talk about interesting, you've got the national title contender in Clemson. You've got the second tier of contenders, and then you have Bill Belichick in the league. Like this is a legitimate football league with a lot of headlines and a lot of storylines and a lot of things to monitor this year. And it's probably the most exciting preseason of an ACC football season I can remember. It looks really, really fun to follow ACC football this year.
Yeah, I mean, we even have the drama of Stanford, and Frank Reich is just 1-year stint.
See that you almost just ruined the whole thing by saying Stanford and reminding me that Cal and Stanford are in the ACC.
Yeah, that's bad.
It just doesn't even. It still doesn't feel right. It'll never feel right. Whatever.
No, it should not. It should not be a thing. I'm so sorry for bringing that up.
It's okay, but you can experience unmatched comfort and style with Chubby's iconic original stretch shorts. Did you know that?
You do now.
Depending on how much thigh you're looking to show, and if I know Big Ev, it's a lot. Chubby's makes them in 4-inch, 5.5-inch, and 7-inch inseams. These shorts have the stretchiest fabric for the ultimate movability and flexibility while maintaining a perfectly tailored fit. Featuring an elastic waistband with button fly, enjoy the classic men's khaki style with the added comfort of elastic. Pair the original stretch shorts with Chubby's lineup of performance polos, and now you're cooking with gas. With a soft, stretchy, and breathable fabric, these polos are built to kick back, turn up, chill out, party down, and some filth direction-based descriptor. All right. And come on, this wouldn't be a true ad read if we didn't mention Chubby's classic Lion Swim collection. Without hyperbole, the absolute top of the men's swimwear game. Whether you're squeezing out as many beach days as possible before winter or swimming laps at the gym, their ultra vibrant trunks, built with a quick-drying 4-way stretch fabric, are the best damn swim trunks humankind has ever created. Whether you're getting dressed for your workday, a workout, or a weekend getaway, Chubby's has you covered. For a limited time, Chubby's is giving Unnecessary Roughness listeners 20% off your order with code UR at Chubby'sShorts.com. That's code UR at Chubby's, CHUBBIES, Shorts.com. Support our show and tell them we sent you. We'll end with this. Go ahead.
Heck, ACC, what about Pitt as well?
Sure, throw them on the fire.
Team with that 3-head monster at quarterback, running back, receiver with Holstein, Desmond Reed, who was one of the most electric players in college football last year, Kenny Johnson. Schedule, they got Miami at home. They've got Notre Dame at home as well. Like, hey, Louisville at home. Like, they got their toughest games at home.
Throw them on the fire. There's another log on the ACC fire.
Shout out Ebo.
I might just try to break down and do a full SEC breakdown next week because it's the most question marks I can ever remember. LSU with all their transfers should be better, but do I trust Brian Kelly to do it? Texas A&M could be better, but do I trust Texas A&M to do it? Florida should be really good. Do I trust Billy Napier to do it? Like every single team in the SEC that is positioned, Auburn. Yeah. Auburn looks way better on paper.
Oklahoma.
Do I trust Hugh Freeze? Oklahoma looks really good on paper. Do I trust Brent Venables? Like every single team that looks primed to make a step forward in the SEC has a gigantic question mark somewhere along the organization. So anyway, we'll break that down later. Last thing, Big Ev, come get your boy Dan Lanning.
Not my boy.
That's your boy Dan Lanning. I know that's your boy. That's your boy Dan Lanning. You see his recruit video?
What, jumping in the pool?
Jumping in the pool. Whose idea was it? Was this Dan Lanning's idea or the recruit's idea?
Ryan, I don't know. It's just this kid is also. I'm seeing.
He was wearing underwear too, by the way.
And he's 16. He's a top 30 recruit. I'm seeing, which I think everyone was led on to believe this guy would be like a top 5 blue chip guy.
Yeah.
Top 30. I'm not a stars guy. I don't care about recruiting. Whatever. Tough look though. 16 years old. Dan Lanning. Half butt naked, jumping into a pool with them. Who were the girls in the background? Nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
Why was the ACC digital network YouTube reel just run over and over again in the background? Highlights. Nobody knows. One of the most bizarre videos that can only be summed up to one thing. That's college football.
That's exactly what I was going to tee you up for, Big Ev. You're not seeing this in the NFL. You're not seeing this in the NBA. It's just you're only going to see this cringeworthy crap in college football, and they eat it up with a spoon.
I just listen, Brandon. I mean, question for you. You ever seen Nick Saban with his shirt off?
I can't say that I have.
Bear Bryant, ever seen him with his shirt off?
Definitely not.
Woody Hayes, ever seen him topless? Tarp off?
Not to my knowledge.
Ryan Day, ever seen him with his shirt off?
No. In fact, let's do the opposite of this list. Think of the play. How many coaches have you seen with their shirt off? I know I've seen Brett Bielema with his shirt off.
Jim Harbaugh.
I've seen Jim Harbaugh. I've seen Ed Orgeron, who's not a coach anymore.
Belichick, but it was on like a cam video after he had. I'm assuming maybe he hooked up with Jordan the first time.
Yeah, Belichick.
That wasn't by design. That was he got caught lacking.
Yeah, it's not a long list of shirtless coaches.
Have we seen Shane Beamer?
To my knowledge, no.
Am I tripping?
I've seen Bruce Pearl. He's a basketball coach, but
well, he does have football games.
Yeah, Big Ev, you're right. Like, go through the
Real
list of
serious coaches that are in the midst of winning championships. Don't take their shirt off. I don't care if they're chiseled. I don't care if they're fat. You just don't do it. Leave guys like me to randomly take their shirt off.
Yes.
Unserious guys take their shirt off. Not guys that win national championships in college football.
Bluffman just showed me a picture of Steve Spurrier coaching shirtless at South Carolina. Steve Spurrier can do what he wants. He's like the exception that proves the rule. He's like Steve Spurrier is out there enough where he just does his own thing. Anyway, Kayce will be back next week. We'll get another week closer to the season. I got a couple of fun ideas for us to do next week. I got a couple of good ideas churning in my mind and my brain. Otherwise, we'll end it right here. Thank you, Lukey, for producing it for us over there. Big Ev, you got anything to add?
No, shout out Lukey Legend. Go Bucks.
You got anything to add?
A few more months.
You could have just said no. A no would have sufficed.
Yeah, but felt like I got put on the spot.
You did, and a no would have sufficed.
That was a good answer.
Not great.
Monday night, where will you be? September 1st, 2025, TCU UNC.
You're just skipping the first Saturday?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll be back next week. That's Unnecessary Roughness.